And hi, I'm Paul Gibbons. This is a short intro to potential students and Wyzant, let you know what kind of guy I am and how I like to work with students. So a little bit about me. I went to the University of Wisconsin in the, oh my gosh, 1970s. I was later a professor at that school, which was kind of a cool thing when I was in my 50s. My hobbies are gaming, very kind, playing poker, League of Legends are my two favorite things. Your students will know what that is, parents. You don't. I do like to work out, but I don't look like the guy pushing the tire. I have two kids. One's a college sophomore, and one is an eighth grader. I write books most of the time when I'm not tutoring. My friends think I spend all day on the couch. My mom thinks I spend all day wasting my time on a computer. Publishers think I don't do any work at all. I'm lazy. Society thinks I'm this book signing books and receiving prizes the whole time, and that's what the world really looks like. I have written 5 or 6 books, though, one of which is a bestseller in a very narrow field. I have another one coming out in February 2024. And before 2020, the COVID hit, I was doing the keynote speaking thing around the world. I'll tell you a little bit about my academics. This is long but boring, but that's the truth of the matter. In high school, I focused on languages and math, two things I was very good at. I had 6 years of high school French. I lived in France over the course of my life as an adult, so I speak that very well. And I also get by in Spanish, German, and Italian. Uh, I got my degree in biochemistry when I was super young, worked as a researcher after that, was going to go to med school, changed my mind, moved to London, went to work on Wall Street. Before I went to work on Wall Street, I did a minor in economics, so at the University of Wisconsin also, did some graduate level courses in finance and investment. And then at 30, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was sick of Wall Street. I went back to do a PhD in neurochemistry. Didn't finish it, was sick of not making money. Went to work in management consulting when I was 32 years old in London at PricewaterhouseCoopers, a very prestigious firm. I did a master's in industrial and organizational psychology in the middle of the 1990s. I did a master's in philosophy in the 2000s, specifically ethics and political philosophy, although it was a broad-based thing. I went back in my 50s to do some graduate work at the University of Wisconsin. I did some science writing, I did some sociology, I did some economics, I did some philosophy, and I've been an adjunct professor over my life at several business schools, one in England and a bunch in the US. I teach things like leadership and ethics and change. And so that's it. I am a lifelong learner, certainly dedicated to improving my own mind, deepening my knowledge of some subjects. I mean, I'm broader rather than deeper, and that's by design. I mean, it's not an accident. It's the way my mind works, and I enjoy bringing a multidisciplinary approach to the stuff that I do. Briefly, my learning philosophy is learning happens when you're struggling. That's the good part. And we have this silly notion in society that the struggle means that you're bad at it or learning it or ought to give it up. And if you think about a soccer player who's learning to kick with their left foot when their right foot dominated, it feels awful. It's hard. You suck. You're terrible. You miss everything. And it takes a long time. And that's the way learning feels. And too many kids, including sometimes my own, if something gets difficult, they think, okay, I suck with this, I'm on to the next thing. And we don't want that, right? That struggle is when the learning is happening. That's what learning feels like. But we have this silly idea that everything should feel always a society. So the struggle doesn't have to make you miserable. And there's a certain, I get joy out of wrestling with the tricky problem and wrestling that beast to the ground and besting it as if it was some steer in a rodeo. And that's the kind of mindset I want to bring to it, to kids. And so that's why when we're working on a problem sets together, I don't provide answers. I say, what's your thought process? What's your intuition say? How do we get started? If you don't know how to do it, what's the first step? I really focus on not memorizing unless it's absolutely necessary. There's some stuff, if you're doing art history, you kind of know who memorized who painted the painting. But for most subjects, I focus on deeper understanding and critical thinking. And so that's it. My name is Paul Gibbons. It'd be a great pleasure to work with your student or you if you are the student. Thank you very much for listening.